Let us now learn about analytical reasoning. What is it exactly? Analytical reasoning is a method of turning unstructured and arbitrarily arranged facts into structured information. Once your information is structured, it is easy to draw conclusions, make deductions, and figure things out from the data. Analytical reasoning can be said to be reasoning done by analytically arranging data into a certain format. This format can be a table, it can be a graph, it can be a chart, it could just be grouping data by Venn diagram. At least one analytical reasoning paragraph is asked in the reasoning section of the IBPS exam. If we look at the structure of the question, you will be provided with one paragraph containing some information, some data. There would be 4 to 5 questions based on that information. So you would basically have to take this information, structure it in some way, and answer those 4 to 5 questions. Like every other question in the IBPS exam, the analytical reasoning questions are also multiple choice. So you will have to choose the correct answer from the 5 options provided. Let's look at how to solve an analytical reasoning question. We present to you 3 steps. Step 1 is to draw a table or a diagram from the information provided. Step 2 is to fill in whatever is the known information into the table. The data, the paragraph that you will be provided will have some direct facts, that is what I am referring to as a known information. There would be something that is a derived fact, which is an unknown information. So first, given the paragraph of information, given the paragraph of data, whatever is a direct fact, directly stated fact, fill it in as a known information. Once that is done, you have to fill in the derived or unknown information and complete this table to get an idea of the exact structure of this data. Let's understand that with the help of an example. Look at this paragraph. 7 workers, A, B, C, D, E, F, and G, they work in 3 shifts, shift 1, shift 2, and shift 3, with at least 2 persons per shift. Each has a different day of the week as a weekly holiday. B works in shift 2 only with F. F's weekly holiday is on Friday. E takes a holiday one day after A, and both work on different shifts. D works in shift 3 and her holiday is on Saturday. G works in shift 1 and her holiday is on Monday. Whoever has a holiday on Sunday works in shift 1. A and D do not have the same shift, and A takes a holiday on Tuesday. Step 1 is to draw a table or a diagram and represent this given information in the paragraph into that table. So we have to arrange the information of the 7 people, figure out what the weekly off is for each of those 7 people and what shift they work in. So we draw a table with 3 columns and 7 rows. That is person, person's weekly off, and the person's shift. Now we fill in the known information. We know that there are 7 people, so we fill in their names A, B, C, D, E, F, and G in the person column. Let's look at all the known information and the directly supplied facts. First, the paragraph stated that B works in shift 2 only with F, which means that both B and F work in shift 2. Second, the paragraph states that F's weekly holiday is on Friday, so we fill in Friday for a weekly off for F. Then the paragraph tells us that D works in shift 3 and her holiday is on Saturday. G works in shift 1 and her holiday is on Monday. These are also directly implied facts, so we just plug in the information into the table. Then we are told that A takes a holiday on Tuesday. So we enter Tuesday as a weekly off for A. The next fact states that E takes a holiday one day after A. So A takes a holiday on Tuesday, so E takes a holiday on Wednesday. Then it is stated that A and D do not have the same shift. Now it's already given to us that D works in shift 3. So this means that A works either in shift 1 or in shift 2. Now that we've filled in all the known information, it's time for us to fill in the unknown or derived information. Now, the sentence stated that B works in shift 2 only with F, so no one else works in shift 2. How did I come to that conclusion? B works in shift 2 only with F and they have a different weekly off. It means that B doesn't work with anyone else in shift 2. So, it's only B and F who work in shift 2 and no one else. Therefore, since we had arrived at the conclusion that A works in either shift 1 or shift 2, we know now that A does not work in shift 2, so A works in shift 1. This information is derived. It was not directly told to us. We had to come to this conclusion on the basis of the given facts. Hence, this qualifies as unknown information. Similarly, we are told that E and A work different shifts. We know that E cannot work in shift 2. A works in shift 1, so E cannot work in shift 1 either. Therefore, E works in shift 3. Another indirect information given to us is that whoever has a holiday on Sunday works in shift 1. We don't know what day B and C have a weekly off. However, we know that B works in shift 2, so B's weekly off cannot be on Sunday. Therefore, C has a weekly off on Sunday and works in shift 1. That leaves just one blank entry, that is the weekly off for B. And so we know that B has a weekly off on Thursday because it's given in the question that no two people have a weekly off on the same day. Now we have a table with all the information neatly structured. You have per person, you know what the person's weekly off is and you also know what shift that person works in. You can then answer the 4 or 5 questions that follow, and each of those questions can be easily answered just by looking at this table. Let's look at some further tips and shortcuts for solving analytical reasoning problems. First is to look for known facts. That is, look for facts that are easy to understand. Look for facts that are direct. For instance, a piece of information in your paragraph that says D works in shift 3 is a known fact, it's a direct fact. You don't have to think at all. You just know that, okay, this is D works in shift 3. Look for these facts initially to get as much information as possible out of your paragraph. Don't look for any indirect, long-winded, complicated sentence such as E takes a holiday one day after A and both work different shifts. Because without any base information, you cannot extract any meaning out of this sentence. Whereas a sentence such as D works in shift 3 gives you direct information into your hands. So look for easy and known facts first before you go to a more complicated fact. The second tip is to practice speed reading. Now this type of a question will always come with a lengthy paragraph. A long passage with a lot of information in it. Since it has a lot of information, you will have to read this passage multiple times to ensure that you have not missed out on any important information in it. Therefore, you must practice reading fast or you will spend too much time. In case you are a slow reader or you are not very comfortable in reading large amounts of English, it would help if you could practice. Read as much as you can and try to increase the speed at which you read a paragraph or you read an article. This will help you in solving this kind of a question because you really have to read it multiple times. If you miss out on one piece of information, your analytical reasoning, structuring and putting things into a table is going to go wrong. You will also need to practice a lot, that is in order to improve your reading speed as well as to improve your idea of how to grasp this problem and how to solve it. For that, Course Mantra has provided you with a large number of practice problems. Do go through them.